Welcome to Living History. This is the unique show that explores the memories and experiences of the people who put this great nation on their backs when it needed it the most and carried it through some tough and special times, where we really explore the history of this country and the truth is stranger than fiction realities of how we got to be where we are.
In 1942, I raised my right hand and I swore allegiance to the United States and for everything it stood for, and I have never wavered from that oath.
I could see the world and get paid for it.
The Nazis, they'd been in power and preparing for this for 20 years, and we were just a bunch of kids.
300 at a time came in to that naval contingent and zeroed in.
Did you know about Marilyn Monroe? Damn near all the files on her suicide's missing.
But she had no place to stay. And there was no place. There was nothing in El Paso. So she finally went to a neighborhood that looked sort of decent, and it turned out it was kind of decent. And she went up and down the street and knocked on the doors, asked if they had a room.
When you're in combat and on the front line, you don't get weekend passes.
The air route between the Assam, Brahmaputra River Valley in India and Kunming, China was called the Aluminum Trail. You could find your way across the Himalayas by following the aluminum wreckage on the mountainsides all the way.
We got hit midships. We got hit with a 250-pound bomb, and it broke the ship right in half.
And you run into the wall practically, because you didn't want to go the other way, you go over the cliff.
So to get your prisoners in jail, we'd only take what we could put in the vice car, which was 6 guys. Well, there was 12 guys in the game. I'd let them roll high dice to see who went to jail. And boy, those guys would pray to those dice.
The Germans were good. They were well trained. They had better equipment than we had.
They sent suicide planes. They were desperate. Japan was on their knees then.
I joined a Nazi party because of the ADL was looking to infiltrate a Nazi party, and I was single at the time in the 50s.
We used to see them going over our base. They'd putt, just on their way to London. But then the later ones, they were using both kinds. The later ones came down, and when they went off, it was a tremendous big crash.
It turned out that I was now in the OSS, the Office of Strategic Services, the first spy organization that America had. And there, finally, I stood stark naked with my toothbrush.
At 13 years old, I heard that they were recruiting here and there throughout Los Angeles, looking for young people to join the military. So I had somebody sign their name to my enlistment papers, and I turned them in and they accepted me. Within 2 weeks or so, I was in the military.
40 Marines went after 400 Germans, and they said they were nothing but hungry. They didn't want to fight.
It was complete devastation. However, I don't know how precise our bomber was, but there was a church standing in all this rubble.
And she showed us 13 places where there were all the records of the Waffen-SS that formed the bulk of the case against them at the Nuremberg trials.
I witnessed the flag going up on Iwo Jima.
Al, I know you don't know who that was, but that was Jesse James.
We were hit with shrapnel several times, and one guy who was standing back thought he was all sweat, and he wiped his he was covered in little tiny shrapnel. He was bleeding, didn't know it. He dropped.
And my friend turns to me and in his British accent says, "Which one is Hitler? The fat one or the one with the funny moustache?"
Is it true, or is it one of those legends of the West?